What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do if you're on this channel. What it does, that helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platform to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. Today, what we have to discuss right now are a couple of CNN clips. The first one that I want to discuss here is concerning early exit polling. Now, the early exit polling that's going to be referenced here is concerning the mood of the nation, right? The mood of the American voter as they head to the voting booth. And the mood of the American voter as it pertains to the future of this country is very bleak. People feel that we are headed in the wrong direction. And as this gentleman was showing here, and I'm just going to skim through this, here's the first question. Feeling about the way things are going in the U.S. 7% say that they're enthusiastic, only 7%. 19% say that they're satisfied. 43% say that they're dissatisfied, and 29% say that they're angry. And then when you get to this portion here, America's best days are in the future or in the past. The early exit polling shows that people feel by 61% that America's best days are in the future, and 34% feel America's best days are in the past. Now, for some people, you might be accustomed to the idea that, yeah, 60% is a passing grade when you're talking about maybe taking a test or turning in your homework back when you were in high school or elementary school. But when we're talking about judging the mood of the country and how voters feel about the direction of the country, when only 61% say that they feel that the best days of America are in the future, that is horrible. And that actually should traditionally spell disaster for Kamala Harris because she is tied to the current administration, obviously, as the vice president of the United States to Joe Biden. And here's where you see that can be very detrimental to her. Because when you get to this next portion here that he's getting ready to discuss, and let me just backtrack just a little bit, opinion of Biden as president, 41% approve. Only 41% of voters approve, while 58% disapprove. That is atrocious. And once again, traditionally speaking, this should spell disaster for Kamala Harris. But what was the most interesting was that after this man went through the early exit polling here, I want you to take a moment to listen to the conversation after the fact. Listen to what Dana Bash had to say, and then we're going to listen to what Chris Wallace followed up, or I should say rebutted with. Let's listen to this here.
The country nationally disapprove of the way that the incumbent Democratic president is doing his job, Jake.
All right, interesting stuff, David Chalian. Thanks so much. And let's talk about it with our panel and Dana Bash. Obviously, this is early exit poll data, but still looking at this, which really doesn't deviate so much from polling in general we've seen. Joe Biden not popular. Most Americans dissatisfied.
One of the questions that I have been asking and looking at since I started covering campaigns is this. Are you satisfied? Are you not satisfied? Right track, wrong track. It is extremely high, the dissatisfied or angry. As David said, if you add those two up, 72%. What we don't know, because this is such a different election, is whether the dissatisfaction or anger will be taken out on Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, because they are both effectively, Harris is part of the current administration, but Donald Trump and the Trump era is very much upon us. We don't know how that's going to be.
I got to say, I think that's putting the best spin on it. I think when you see...
I can appreciate Chris Wallace stepping in and being a realist. I can definitely appreciate that. He said, you know what, Dana, I mean, I guess that's the best way you can put a spin on it. I mean, you're doing a great job spinning this as if this doesn't spell disaster for Kamala. And once again, traditionally, it's supposed to. I guess we'll find out at the end of the day, or probably at the end of this week, or maybe 2 weeks from now, or maybe a month from now, whenever we actually get the election results. but she's just trying to put her best spin on it to assist and help out and make Kamala Harris look good. But let's listen to what Chris Wallace had to say. Let's backtrack just a little bit, and we're going to take it from the top with Chris. So let's go right here.
I think that's putting the best spin on it. I think when you see current voters saying that by a 3-to-1 margin that they are dissatisfied with the country,
or angry, dissatisfied or angry.
I got to say, I think that that's with the present conditions in the country. I mean, in conventional terms, it would be a miracle that Kamala Harris could win with that kind of headwind, and also with a president. Remember, she was part of the administration. The Biden-Harris administration was 41% approved, 58% disapproved. This isn't even close to the 50%. Let me just finish my point, which is
they're so desperate to save in and to jump in and save Kamala Harris. They are so desperate. The media bias against Donald Trump is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. They want to step in and stop Chris Wallace from speaking the truth so bad.
Harris administration was 41% approved, 58% disapproved. This isn't even close to the 50%. Let me just finish my point, which is just that if she is able to overcome those numbers and still win this election, then she has done a remarkable job of somehow separating herself that she's part of the solution and not part of the problem.
It's really,
as Chris Wallace stated, and as I said earlier, traditionally speaking, with this type of headwind, as he stated, it would take a miracle for Kamala Harris to win. Traditionally, with numbers like that, it would take a miracle, especially when you're taking into account that she is the worst polling Democrat against Donald Trump, to which we know, historically speaking, at this point, Donald Trump always outperforms the polling. Whether or not that'll be the case this election, I guess that's yet to be seen. And then you also take into account the fact that Donald Trump holds 2 of the 3 major issues in this country as it pertains to the economy, the migrant crisis, and abortion. Donald Trump is considered more favorable when it comes to handling issues at the border, when it comes to the economy. The only thing Kamala Harris has over him is abortion. So he holds 2 out of the 3 major issues. People look at him in a more favorable light as someone who can get the job done and fix things in this country. All things considered, you would say to yourself, how is it possible for Kamala Harris to win? Once again, I keep saying this, traditionally speaking, there's no way, but it's yet to be seen. Now, what I want to do also, and I think this is very relevant here, this next 2 videos that I'm going to pull up for you, these next 2 clips, I want to pull up a clip from this Puerto Rican young woman here who was a first-time voter. And then afterwards, I want to pull up a clip of Asian business owners. First, let's go to this young Puerto Rican woman right here. What you're going to see here that she's going to discuss and explain how she's a first-time voter. And despite the fact that she's Puerto Rican, and we all know about the joke that happened at Madison Square Garden from the comedian at the Trump rally, despite all that and the fact that she didn't necessarily care for the joke, she's still voting for Trump. Let's listen to her reason why.
It's my first time voting.
Oh, you're a first-time voter. Who would you like to win?
Trump.
This bothers
me. I am Puerto Rican, so that was like, I was like, wow, like I don't really like that, you know. It's, I don't know, really. I really don't know, honestly. It's
so as a Puerto Rican, you're okay with that, though?
No, definitely not. I just think, you know, like people, like everyone has opinions. Like, you know, if they don't like Puerto Ricans, it hurts, of course. But at the end of the day, I'm okay with who I am, and at the end of the day, I want to be able to have a better life in the future.
At the end of the day, I want to be able to have a better life in the future. And she only sees that happening with Donald Trump, not Kamala Harris. I am very happy with the fact that she is putting logic over emotions. Jokes are jokes. Jokes are either presented to you for you to laugh at or for you to feel offended at. And we all have laughed at jokes that have been offensive to other people, while we frown when the jokes finally come our way and now everyone's laughing at us. But at the end of the day, it's about logic and sound reasoning and not emotion. I cannot like a joke that came out of the Trump rally. That's fine. I can feel how I want to feel about it, but my emotions cannot trump logic. And in this case here, her emotions is not trumping her logic. And logic and common sense says things were better under Trump than they were under Harris and Biden. So the logical choice is to go with Trump if she wants a better future. She did not succumb to her emotions concerning race and ethnicity. Now, once again, concerning race and ethnicity, I want to keep hammering this point home because this is, I want to say, 50% of what the Democrats run on concerning fear mongering. I want to shift over here to this Asian American couple that are business owners here in the country, citizens, obviously, who are voting in this year's election. And I want you to listen to what they had to say concerning who they voted for. And mind you, a lot of people will look at them and say, oh my God, you remember when Donald Trump called, the great illness of 2020, as I like to say, the Chinese virus and yada, 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 and stop AAPI hate. This is another group of people who are not allowing emotions to trump logic. Let's go into this clip right here.
We just met a voter. I'm going to introduce you to him now, Jimmy Fan, who voted for Biden last cycle in 2020, but he told us just a short time ago he's voting for Trump this cycle. Jimmy Fan, he's a small business owner, father of 3, and soon to be 4 next week, as I found out. But Jimmy, tell me, what was your deciding factor in this election?
I was thinking Trump would be a better choice in this elections. He would run for when he run the office. I think he will get a lot of stuff down, like when he was a president. The economy and stuff. That what we were aiming for this elections, more than just more than just focus about it. So that what me and my wife, just go on.
You said the economy was stronger for you as a business owner when Trump was president than during the last 4 years of Biden.
That's correct. Yeah, I feel like, even though with a lot of stimulus, a lot of that stuff coming through, but I feel like business would run a lot better when Trump was a president. But when he's if he win this time, I think we would get to that ladder.
Question: some voters, you hear, they wonder whether their vote will count. Do you have faith in the voting system here in Michigan that your vote will count and the votes will be counted fairly?
I mean, in this Macomb system, I think it's legit. Yeah, but I feel last time was robbed it, a little bit.
You have a question about the 2020 election?
Yes. Because I look at the poll. It was was dominate one day and then another day it just flipped upside down. So,
well,
even this gentleman who voted for Biden last election, despite the fact that his man won, and clearly there's a little bit of buyer's remorse to say the least, even he's looking at things in 2020 and saying, yeah, there was something fishy about that. There was something a little fishy about the 2020 election. But we won't go down that rabbit hole right now. I'll just end it here. I do not see, nor can I wrap my mind around how Kamala Harris pulls this off, especially given all things considered as it pertains to exit pollings and polling and things of that nature. When you're even seeing so-called people of color, right, are voting with logic versus their feelings, right? They're voting with logic, letting logic lead the way, and are not allowing fear-mongering to dictate their response. I just don't see how Kamala Harris pulls this off. But I guess we will all just have to wait and see. So with all that being said, that does it for today's news. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Rumble. It is extremely important that you do that. Please follow me on Telegram and Rumble at TD Media Group. Both the link to my Telegram and Rumble will be in the description box below, as well as pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. Until the next video, peace and have a great evening.